Welcome back to the Relentless Podcast. It's part two. My man Willie Tilley right here. So what we're going to get into today is kind of his top 10 lessons for 2023. So let me tell you a little background why he's actually on the podcast. So we got together early this year in January, and Willie said, "Hey, I'm trying to do a little bit better this year. If I hit certain benchmarks, can I come onto your podcast?" I said, "Shoot, yeah, man, I'd love to have you on there. He's one of my best friends all time. Just hanging out would be awesome anyway." But what he did is say, "Hey, I'm gonna hit these," and he laid them out. We said, "Okay, let's do that." And one of them was, "Hey, if I get 85% of these workouts, can I come on?" And at the time, he really wasn't being real active into the workouts and all that good stuff. And 176 workouts was a minimum, right? And I would just like to report that together today we hit 200. By the way, 200 workouts in 1 year was amazing. To go from where he was last year today was a huge one. That's just one of the benchmarks. He hit that when it was huge, and he's learned some things along the way that I think apply to anybody in whatever you're trying to reach this goal. So we're going to reach this one in 2024. So let's get first into the top. Let's go. Number one, what was your number one thing you kind of took away from 2023?
Yeah, first of all, let's go back a little bit, Joe. I think that the goal itself was to get active.
That's it.
I think baby steps, and you hit it a lot. Is like, let's get that gym door open,
Man.
or let's get out of bed, or let's move the covers off of me.
They say the heaviest weight at the gym is the front door.
It's so true. It is so true. If you can just get your butt up,
Man,
you're halfway there for the day. For me personally, it's like I gotta get it in the morning, and I feel better. I operate better. I think better, and the biggest thing for me was I overcame a big milestone in my life since retiring. I had a very bad knee the last 3 or 4 years of active duty, and I finally got that fixed. And there was a point there, I believe, Joe, where I was in so much pain just by driving or getting in the truck and doing something that I was like, I've been active my entire life, and I've been pretty physical, doing physical things for almost my entire life, where I said, that's just behind me now. Well, it's not. I'm still a relatively young man at 47, 48, whatever I am. I don't do math very well.
We don't do math either.
But what it was I got to get to a baseline, and I got to get back. And that's not doing Fran in 9 minutes anymore. That baseline has shifted. That baseline moved for me, and that baseline was first fix your knee,
man.
And that started in late 2022, and I did that and finally got some knee repair done, where it didn't kill me to get up and do something.
Yeah.
And for all of you out there that are like, man, it just hurts too much, I'm with you. It sucks, and I think that everybody should consult a doctor and get right first.
Yeah.
To understand that, let's get moving a little bit. And you hit it a lot. It's like, let's just get moving. So
yeah, I work with a lot of ex-military that they're used to being at this high level, right? And for so many years they were way up here going at a hard level, and then their body started kind of betraying. Those things add up. Yeah. And you're like, well, if I can't be up here, forget it, man. I'm
Absolutely.
Out. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Just because you can't PT at the CrossFit Games level doesn't mean you can't PT.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. And for a lot of people that were active their entire life, and they were used to doing things where it was physical, and they get to a point where their body said, this hurts.
Yeah.
That is a big barrier, and it's okay to have that barrier, and it's okay to try to get past that barrier too. And guess what? Just because you can't do what you could do doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means we just got to reset the level of what acceptable looks like.
It means you're a human, man. You're in your 40s now. You're not in your 20s, right? You've got bigger responsibilities, bigger things going on with your body. Things change, man, and that's okay. That's part of life. You just can't give up, right?
Absolutely, man. And I almost did give up. I think I told you, I was like, it hurts to get in my truck.
Yeah.
And 100% disabled, and it sucks. It really sucked to even drive long distances. And that's not a physical activity. But for step one, go consult a doctor and say, I want to be active. What does that take?
Yeah, what does that look like?
What kind of lifestyle modifications do I need to do? So that's part of the plan. So, my biggest thing on step one of 2023 was get to a point where I can be active and get to a point where I can do something. Something's better than nothing. Get to a point where I can do a warm up. And if I can do that, then I'll build on it. But let's take baby steps and let's have a plan.
Yeah. You're big on that. You're a big planner guy.
I'm a big.
I mean, you grew up watching the A-Team.
I'm a big planner.
You love when the plan comes together. So I love what you say about, there's planning, but there's an act of planning. What hit on that a little bit. So I like what you say about that.
Yeah. So having a plan doesn't mean that plan's going to go exactly how you plan it, but it's the act of planning that gets you there. It's the act of saying, I'm going to do this tomorrow. And whatever this means for everybody, for me, it means 2023 is like, okay, guess what? I'm going to lay out my shoes. I'm going to lay out my socks. I'm going to wear this, and I'm going to get out of bed and set my alarm. And if I do that, then I'm going to do a warm up. If I do a warm up, then I'm going to do this. But it was very calculated, and having your pre-programmed workout was, here's what I got to do. I got to get out of bed. I got to get dressed. I got to get to the gym, or I got to get to the garage. And then I'm going to warm up, and then I'm going to follow what Joe has programmed for me.
Man, let me just unpack some of what you just did, because I think a lot of it are barriers to exercise. What I look at a lot. What keeps people from working out? A lot of it is, man, there's so many steps to get me to the gym. I got to do this. So you do it the night before. Lay these things out. Even just having your clothes where you don't have to think about it. I know exactly what I'm wearing, what I'm doing. I just got to get there. It's just like those kids that go to private school and they wear uniforms.
Yep.
They just get up and put that on. Steve Jobs, he was famous for having his uniform, right?
Yep.
Because he makes so many decisions throughout the day. That's one less decision. It sounds so small, but having your clothes ready before a workout in the morning, it's so big, man.
It's huge.
And that just eliminates that. And you did that. That's really, really
good. I call it backwards planning.
Yeah.
Backwards planning means I'm going to end a workout. And then what is it going to take me to get to the end of a workout? Well, it's going to take me 30 minutes to do the workout. It's going to take me another 5 minutes to do a warm up before the workout. Then it's going to take me another 10 minutes to get to the gym. This is going to take me another 5 minutes to get dressed. This is going to take me about 10 minutes to get up and out of bed and do what I need to do hygiene wise to get to the point where I'm ready to put my clothes on. So now I know that I need about 90 minutes-ish to do that. So I say, okay, good. Now I know I need to be at work at this time. I'm going to wake up at this time. So I have plenty of time when I get back to decompress, have a cup of coffee, lay out my day, and go do it. That was and once I started getting into that rhythm, now I know. And then I can modify it. Hey, I need more time. I need less time, whatever the case may be.
That's it. And that active planning you talked about is, if something does come up, hey, maybe my car doesn't work or something like that, I got all this information gathered up already where I can just put it in the plan and have an alternative. I tell my clients, have a backup plan to back up your backup plan. Hey, the kids get sick. You can't go to work today. You got to work out at home. What are you going to do? If you're not ready, then you're just going to walk around. You're going to do nothing. But if you have a plan and a backup plan, then you're going to make it happen. If you've already got all the stuff ready, you've already thought about it with your pre-planning, like he talks about, then you're already ready already. I like to talk about that.
I think a big thing of that too is when life offsets you, right? When you have an offset objective. So a vacation, went vacation down in the Keys, or go out into the woods and go on a vacation down in my hunt camp in Georgia. Hey, what do I need to do to set myself up to give me no excuses? Well, I'm going to bring bands or a set of dumbbells or a kettlebell or whatever. So I have zero excuses to say, well, I didn't bring the equipment, so now I can't work out. No, I'm loading my truck the night or two before.
Yeah.
So I have everything I need to do the workout. It may not be the most killer workout, but guess what? I got everything I need to do, whether it's fitness gear, whether it's PT attire, whether it's, hey, you may not get it in when you want to because you got to get up at 3:30 and start coffee and then go hunt. But when you come back, everything's going to be laid out. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so huge that, hey, if you've already got my whole thing with my clients is teaching them how do you make it easier to be successful and harder to fail, right? If you could just lay things out, like, especially with nutrition, like if you have healthy foods readily available to eat, guess what you're going to eat? You're going to eat those. If not, you're going through the drive-through. And if you've got all your stuff already there and it's staring at you, and you're like, all I got to do is get over there and get started. That's what we talk about all the time. If you can just get started, you do that 5-minute warm-up. Like a big thing for him is PW, power warm-ups, right?
PW.
Hey, maybe that's all you get for that day, and that's okay. You did a little mobility, did some cardio, all that stuff. You got the PW in, you got your movement in, and that's great. But most of the time, if you'll just get moving, you're going to do everything. And even if you did it at hunting camp, any of you people out there, how many times you work out at hunting camp? That was a huge victory for him to go work out at hunting camp.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about small victories here in a minute, but if you can just understand what that next day looks like, and not everybody can because life happens.
Yeah.
But if you can try to set yourself up for that 90% of success rate, chances are you're going to get at least close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all goes back to the planning. The step one is all about the plan, and knowing your obstacles coming up is a big one. So, so you kind of mentioned it. So, what about accountability? What do you think about accountability?
Oh, humongous for me this year, Joe. I mean, whether I worked, I felt like I owed you an accountability at the end of the week, an accurate accountability of I failed, I struggled here, I did awesome here. This is what we can work on next week. It goes back to my after action review, my AAR that I always did with you Friday. Whether I got a response from you or not, I always did. But that was almost irrelevant because I said my objective on Friday morning was to complete a workout or a walk or whatever the case may be, and said, I did this. And you were my monkey buddy. I've had monkey buddies in the military that were like, okay,
so important. Yeah.
I didn't want to get up and go work out, but that dude was waiting on me. So if I didn't show up, I was the bad guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So knowing that I had an accountability to you and a reporting and said, hey, I did this, regardless of whether you said, hey, great job or that sucked, or it was irrelevant to me because I said, here's what I set out to do. Here's what I reported to you. I was accountable to myself and I was accountable to you. And that's what being a monkey buddy is all about.
It's so huge. I mean, I'd say probably 85% of my clients, they know exactly what to do. They know how to work out, what to do, where to do it, all the weights and all the stuff they need. They just won't do it on their own. And they have that extra accountability. And if you know, like I'm the same way you are, that Absolutely. I don't want to let people down. Like if I know someone's counting on me, I'm not going to let them down, whether it's exercise or life or whatever. And that's the same thing with working out. Like if you show up and like someone went to the gym, got up at 5:30, whatever it is, and you didn't show,
that's on you.
That's rough.
That's on you. Right yeah. That's huge. To me, it's huge. Being accountable, not to myself, because I can make excuses for myself. It's very easy to make well, I didn't feel good, so let this one go. You know what though? Joe's depending on me he did the effort in getting me the workout. Now it's my job to make sure that I at least attempt to work out. Guess what? That workout may not be done at 100%. And I may take way more rest breaks than he designed in that workout. But the fact that I completed the workout and I said, hey, Joe, I did 4 for 4 this week was huge. And that momentum rolls into the next week.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing is, like, people talk about, oh man, I killed this workout. I'll tell you, I've had over 300 workouts this year. I'd say I've lightly slapped about 70% of them. I haven't killed any of them. I may have killed 5% of them.
Yeah.
Right? But I show up every day. It's almost the end of the year and I'm over 300 workouts, man. I do something all the time. It may just be a little walk or something like that, but I stay in the habit and keep it going. Keep that. And you talked about it. Momentum, man, is so huge. And I know you're going to hit on that a little bit.
Mighty Mo.
Mighty Mo. Now Morgan Jones. That's a Mighty Mo right there.
That's a different
another Mighty Mo.
Mighty Mo, shout out.
Yeah, Mighty Mo. That's our guy right there. But So we kind of talked about a little bit on that, but what about the small victories? We talked about those.
Yeah, I have this mentality in life. It's small victories. So this year was a huge small victories thing for me. Um, I traveled a lot this year, and that's an easy excuse not to work out.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
used to use it all the time. It's like, well, I'm on the road. I'm not expected to work out. I'll just sleep in, and then my days are long anyway. This is my focus. This is my number one objective. But small victories are, hey, I did this for the first time. Hey, I worked out. It may have not been a killer workout, but I worked out while I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I worked out on a Saturday. Or, hey, I went for a walk on a Sunday. Things that change the norm
Mm-hmm.
are small victories. And all of a sudden, these small victories start building into big wins.
Yeah.
And it's huge when you get there. I mean, small victory for me is like, I don't want to get out. I'd love to have 2 cups of coffee and just watch a hunting show.
Mm.
But instead, I say, hey, let me just get out there. Let me just get there. All of a sudden, small victory. I did a power warm up, small victory. I did a power warm up when I didn't need to, small victory. I made up a workout when I didn't need to, small victory. I worked out on, vacation, small victory. I worked on Thanksgiving. And then all of a sudden, you're doing milestone events where it's, hey, I did a workout on Thanksgiving that was a crusher where the night before I planned it and now I executed it. That small victory is a big victory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you prove something to yourself where, like, dude, you can do it.
Yeah. The biggest takeaway, if you're listening right now, get away from that all or nothing mentality where it has to be the perfect workout and you have to kill it every time. You got to go 100%. Neither one of these two guys right here did that this year. But man, we're sitting so much better than we were last year just because we kept showing up, kept doing the things and getting these small victories. And if you picture it, it's like a snowball. It starts at the top of the mountain and it's rolling down. It keeps gathering momentum, gathering more. These small little snowballs become this huge victory at the end of the year because you kept in it. You didn't fall at the side of the mountain. You kept it rolling, man. You've done a great job with that.
It's such a cliche to say consistency is key, but man, it's so true.
It is. It's so true.
You don't got to kill it you don't got to PR every workout.
No, that's kind of a recipe for disaster.
It's a horrible expectation. You have to have manageable expectation and say, hey, I'm going to get through this. And it's not going to be my best effort. And a lot of days weren't my best effort.
Yeah.
But you know what? I said, I'm accountable. I'm going to get through this at some level.
Yeah. And I've fallen victim to it myself because I want to go over there and lift all the weights, like the heaviest weights possible, and do that. And it's just not in the cards anymore. So I got in this trap where last year it happened to me that I just wouldn't work out. Like, well, if I can't I got in some
yeah,
absolutely. Well, if I can't lift 400 pounds, then I'm not going to lift at all.
Yeah, I did a 9-minute Fran one time, which is not anything to brag about, but it was substantial to me.
Yeah,
I got the flu for like 24 hours after that, but that's not my goal. You know what my goal is? My goal is to get out there and do the workout, and whether I crush or not is irrelevant. The fact that I completed the workout is the small victory.
That's a victory right there. Yeah. So while you're watching this or listening to this right now, I'm sitting. It's okay. We're fading on you. Hopefully you're just listening, but I'm sitting with probably the most hydrated man in Huntsville right now. This dude travels with a hydration packet like you've never seen, and he's been drinking water like a champ. His number one goal every day is what?
Hydration, man. It's such an easy win. And I think that's big with fitness. It's like, what is my easy win?
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can feed myself water, and I know that I can feed myself good electrolytes. And that's an easy win. Yeah, it costs a little bit of money to get a little salt packet put in your drink or whatever. But man, I take my hydration very, very seriously. And that was a big game changer for me because it helps you the next day.
Yeah.
If you're thirsty the day you go work out,
it's too late.
It's way too late.
Yeah.
You got to be hydrated 2 days before, at least 24 hours before. So I took my hydration very seriously. Every time I went on the road, I said, it's tough. It's tough when you're flying. It's tough when you're on travel. It's tough when you're in that business mode of I got to stay hydrated, and I don't know what corporate office I'm going into, but guess what? I'm going to figure it out.
He's that guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He is that guy. He will bring it in the corporate office. So.
Yeah.
But man, there's these little things when you're dehydrated you don't notice. It doesn't have. It could be 1%. They've done studies that even 1% dehydration, your performance is affected. Whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is, it don't take a whole lot, and it doesn't take a whole lot to stay hydrated either.
No, it doesn't.
Being intentional about it, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, I think intentional is a great word, Joe. I think it's preventative maintenance. It's like, hey, I know if I'm hydrated, that's one less thing I got to worry about. That's going to be a blocker to me when I go into that workout room. If I go in that workout room and I'm severely hydrated, chances are I'm not going to make it through that workout, regardless of the intensity level. It's just because your body just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to hydrate these days. There's so many companies out there that, hey, here's a good packet, here's this, here's that. It doesn't have to be you don't have to, get the $3 Gatorade and chug it. It's too late at that point. It's a constant preventative maintenance. It's changing the oil in the car.
Yeah.
It's
just a habit. You just got to layer it in like anything else. If you add that habit, and it just, maybe in the beginning it's tougher. Like if you're not drinking any water right now, you're not hydrating at all, it's tough. But maybe maybe if you're drinking 0 water right now, try 10 ounces tomorrow, and then 12, and just snowball, small victories.
I'm not a big carry a gallon guy.
I know.
I'm just not. But I know this: in the morning, I'm going to chug a glass of 8 ounces.
Yep.
And that's also helps me get to the door.
Yeah.
And
well,
hey, to be crude, peeing clear is a good thing.
Peeing clear is the goal, man. That's what any doctor will tell you that. Hey, let's get on this, man. What about when you took some L's this year? You're going to take L's out there. We all take L's. What about when you had some losses?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because mentality wise, it's easy for me to be self-defeated. It's like, well, I missed this one, and then all of a sudden, well, I missed this one, I'll make it up next week. Well, that's true. You can, but the chances of success go way down.
Yeah.
Extremely. I've done it twice this year where I've had to make up an exercise or a workout. And that's trying to make it up was extremely difficult because now you're like, well, I planned for 30 minutes, but now I got to plan to 30 minutes and then come back for 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. So that loss that you have, if you let it derail you, which it's going to, everybody, we're humans.
Yep.
And we're going to have losses. And if we don't compound those losses, if we just say, be on an island and say, that play happened, let's get back after it tomorrow and figure it out. All of a sudden you're caught up, and then you say, guess what? I want some extra credit. Dude, we're back in it. We're back in it. We're back in our mode. We're back in our consistency. We're back in our thing. You're feeling better. You're looking better. It's not that big of a deal to get that after that loss. But once you get that loss and you say, well, Tuesday didn't happen, so I might as well wait till last week. Killer. That will derail the train.
Yeah. Man, it's so true. And John,
especially around the holidays.
Oh my God, it gets tough, man. John Maxwell, you may have heard of him. He talks about the law of diminishing returns. That the longer you wait, the less it's going to happen, the less chance is going to happen. And when you take those losses, it's okay. My big thing with coaching is don't let a slip become a fall. You're going to mess up. We all do. We're humans, man. We're going to screw up. You're going to feel bad. Next play.
And guess what? That goes during the workout.
Yeah.
If you have to take an extra 5 seconds and take a break, so what? Get back after it at the next exercise.
Get lighter weights. Take a little extra rest break.
That helped me so much this year, Joe. I can't tell you how many times that I was doing something. I was like, well, I didn't do it to prescription. I might as well just walk off.
Yeah.
No, just do it without weight.
Yeah. A lot of my clients are
go
same
through
way.
the motions.
Yeah. They're like, well, I couldn't do it like she's doing it. Like, all right, man, you're okay. You finished the workout. That's all that really matters.
A constant message you always send is like, it's you.
Yeah.
It's for you. If you want to take a break, that's fine.
Yeah.
Take a break. Take 2 breaks. Take 3 breaks. Finish what you can and then complete the exercise or complete the workout. And then guess what? it's still a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's keeping score at home.
So many of my clients get caught in the comparison trap. And it could be a comparison within yourself from like 20 years ago or something like that. They remember, well, I remember in college I could do this, this, and this, and I would lose 10 pounds. Like, whoa, you were 21 years old at the height of your physicality.
Guess what? We're not.
No kids, no job. You basically went to class in 3 hours and could do whatever you want. You could eat Twinkies and, do one squat, you lose 10 pounds. So, here at 53 and you've got, 18, 20-year-old kids stressing you out and you're working full time, that's a whole nother situation. So getting caught in the comparison trap fails so many people. I feel like we're in a aha video right now, by the way.
I know, we probably should get a lot.
So
here, let me try to do
we'll
this.
Be all right, man. I feel like I should be like flipping against the wall. You remember that? So celebrating milestones, man. I think that's where people like really forget about that part, about how important milestones are.
Oh man. There's been so many firsts for me this year that although they weren't huge victories, what was great was the first. And I know a lot of people out there listening to Joe's podcast are like, man, I'm going to Destin this spring. I've never worked out when I was at least, that was me. Hey, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm putting everything aside, but you're in that big of a deficit when you get back. But if you just get one workout in or one stretch or whatever, scale it to however you need to, you're really minimizing the loss.
Yeah.
You have several videos where it's like 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 8 minute. It's not a whole 30 minute. Maybe you don't have 30 minutes because you're with your favorite, like, hey, I'm with my fan this week, whatever. Guess what? I did something today. I got up, I stretched. That stretch is something.
Yeah.
And you're minimizing the losses. The bad part is when you say, I'm going to Destin and I'll pick it up where we left off. That's killer. For me, it is.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, it's like, yeah, I take a week off. That's going to turn into 2 weeks. That's going to turn into a month. That's going to turn into 2 months. And then I'm going to say, why even start back up?
Yeah. Well, some people, they can flip the switch, man. Hey, I'm completely off and I'm right back on. For me, man, I got to keep it a little something. Like if it's a walk on the beach or like you said, a couple stretches, something.
Like kayak, something.
I do that for mental health, if nothing else, man. If I don't work out for a while, I'm not as nice of a person. I'm not a good person to be around, and I can admit that. So just keeping the habit, it's about keeping the habit going for me. And like I said, I'm not out there like doing burpees on the beach or anything.
Yeah, you're not getting up at 5 o'clock in Panama City Beach doing burpees on the beach.
I'm gonna wake up when I wake up, and I'm gonna do some fun movement. That's what I try to encourage my clients to do. Like get some fun movement.
Huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Not where you're just out there smoking yourself on holidays. So,
yeah.
So
not only that, your body needs that.
Right. Yeah.
I know several times this year I talked to you and I was like, man, I just feel like I could use a little bit of break. It doesn't mean I took the week off. It just meant I just modified
back
things.
Off. Yeah.
Maybe I just do the same workout, but at 50% intensity.
Yeah. You stayed in the habit. You kept moving. You did the thing. That's great, man. A lot of people do that. They're like, well, I got to go 100% all the time. We talked about that earlier. You just got to kind of stay in the habit. Just keep moving. Like lightly slap that workout and keep it moving.
Yep.
And it's something you've gone through this whole is your you've mentioned a couple times, your AAR is just kind of analyzing what went right, what went wrong. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They just kind of go through life and they wonder why this happened. But if you analyze it, well, what happened yesterday? What happened this week? So how do you look at that?
Yeah. So I'm weird in the fact that I keep a log.
Yeah, he is a log guy.
I analyze. I said, okay, well, and I don't keep a log of, hey, I did this workout well. You could do it that way. That's fine. But I say, hey, I didn't do this. How can I improve that next week? Or how can I change that behavior? And I do it a little after action review and I also analyze success. Hey, this week was awesome. You know what I did?
Yeah.
Here's what I did. I ate better Sunday. I hydrated better Saturday.
Yeah.
I did a functional movement this weekend and I didn't have such a gap between Friday and Monday where Monday didn't seem like such a chore. So I say, okay. I analyze successes. Also, like I was saying, man, I didn't get all 4 workouts in my hunt camp, but I did 2. Yeah. That's a success. And I chalk it up and I say, okay, so how can I improve that next year? Next year, I need to bring something that's a little lighter, something that's a little bit more functional, something that's more applicable to my environment. And excuse me, both success and shortfalls, analyzing how you can improve, but also how you can sustain those victories is also a huge thing.
Yeah, man, I tell people all the time, hey, success leaves clues, right? If you look back, there's clues. Oh, wow, they'll just leave it up to chance. Well,
I ate a big ass pizza the night before.
yeah, I don't feel
I
good.
didn't work out.
Yeah,
I do
like,
it all the time. I'm like, man, my Monday workouts suck. Why do my
what
Monday?
happened?
Probably because I ate really crappy on Sunday,
Yeah, I talk to
or I
people all
didn't
the time,
hydrate
and
enough.
they don't like. Well, I don't know why this is happening. And then we kind of backtrack, like, well, tell me about your past, 3 days. Like, what were you eating? How was your sleep? Like, most times it's like sleep, like, or they're stressed out or something. Like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
If you look at like most people that have injuries, if they look back, they've been super stressed out the week before the injury happens, which is something weird that people don't correlate an injury with stress. But if you look at it,
typically
if
it means you're not getting enough rest.
yeah, that goes back. You're probably not hydrated. You're probably not eating right. You're all stressed. You're red line with stress. You're all
Yeah,
locked up like this. Your shoulders up in your ears. Your shoulders are locked back. Everything's hurting. And next thing you know, you try and go in the gym and alleviate some of that stress. And you hurt, so you pull a muscle,
yeah.
you tear a muscle, something like that. So those are great. If you're not doing that now, start that. I mean, success leaves clues, and it'll be a blueprint for kind of why you succeeded and why you failed, and then you could do different next time. Or if you're doing right, you'll keep doing it and keep doing the right things, and you'll keep succeeding. So I really like your next one right here. So tell me about your next lesson.
Yeah, this goes back to when you made the leap from Huntsville Adventure Boot Camp to Relentless Positivity. I thought about that a lot. And relentless positivity, what does that mean? It means I'm going to be positive even when I'm down, even when I'm sucking. In the military, we talk about embracing the suck and just living in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. But what does that really mean? And I think that means when I'm really down and I'm like, man, I'm just, I'm in a funk or things aren't going well. What's the best thing I can do? Let me give Joe a call and tell him what a great person and a friend he is. Or, that's my example. But really it's like I want to lift up others when I'm feeling shitty,
Yeah.
and it doesn't happen all the time. And that takes a cognizant, mental stride to do that and say, I don't feel great, but let me make somebody else's day.
Yeah.
And whether that's philanthropy or, working through other things, all of a sudden it's like that positive energy that you gave somebody else, all of a sudden it's circular,
Yeah.
right? And then you're like, okay, well, I did something. Now let me put that back in myself,
Yeah. Man,
especially when you're down, it's important.
yeah, I know this sounds like woo woo and all that stuff, but man, there's science to back this stuff up. And I've used this in my business my whole career. I didn't know the science. I didn't know why I did it. That's just kind of what when I feel bad or my business was failing or things like that, I was like, well, I'm going to go help somebody else. And it's amazing
It's
how
great.
you look and turn around and well, another one I started feeling bad. When you help someone, if you've ever done that, if you've gone and done something for somebody else, they feel pretty good, but man, you feel so good, and then it
It's
feels in
awesome.
the rest of your life. And it's been my business too. It all comes back. It's circular.
It's circular. It is
If you've
circular.
seen what's that movie with Adam Sandler?
Billy Madison.
Yeah, it's circular. It's all circular.
It
So yeah,
is.
I mean, try it out. If you when you're
Not
feeling
Billy
down,
Madison.
yeah, we know.
Happy Gilmore.
That's the one. They're the same movie. They're all the same.
Same
Adam
thing.
Sandler, they're
It's
all
all
the
the same.
same, dude. They're all
It's all
the
the
same.
same.
So keep the body
Lift
mo.
others up when you're feeling down. That's the bottom
That's
line.
it. Be like Adam Sandler. It's circular.
And that's it's almost like it doesn't feel like that's the right thing,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like
but
it
it is the right thing.
and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if nothing else, the worst thing that happened, you help somebody, right? And that's the absolute worst case scenario. You help someone out. That's a pretty good scenario
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So we touched on it earlier, but keeping the mighty mode, man. What was your secret this year to kind of keeping the momentum going?
Man, I tell you, I had a lot of defeats, but I would always be able to tell you, hey, I didn't do this, but I did this.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I did this right, maybe I can do better on that. So I would try to focus on my feedback with my monkey buddy on, hey, guess what? I didn't PR 3 out of the 4, but that one that I did, I had a really good workout. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden I was lifting more on figure it out. whatever the case may be. Let me just think about that instead of all the other crap that happened and say, I can do this. I can do this. Let me get back at it. I made strides. Let me focus on that one stride I did. And now, a lot of first for me this year was, like working out on the road. For all of you out there that, travel as business people, and that's tough. That's not an easy thing. It's you're working longer. Typically, me being on the road means, yeah, I get to do this thing, but I also have to do my daily duties and responsibilities that night. So it's a long day, much longer than it is at home. So working out on the road is a momentum booster. It's like, man, I worked out on the road last week. I daggum sure can work out this week at home.
Yeah.
Let me keep that momentum. I got 4 for 4 last week. Let me see if I can beat that.
Yeah. Being on the road it's kind of a life hack though. If you can actually work out while you're on the road, it's amazing how much easier if you have, it's the best way to get rid of jet lag. May not completely get rid of it, but it really
sucks when you're going to do it.
Oh man. Talk to yourself. We did it today. I did not want to work out. I'm not going to lie.
I flew in from North Carolina. I got up at 3:00 this morning, flew in. The last thing I wanted to do was work out, especially with Joe. Joe put me through the grinder. All of a sudden, I'm like, man, that was worth it. And guess what? I didn't kill it, but I felt better. And I'm like, man, that was the best thing I could have done from sitting down all day.
I was about to fall asleep. Like he ran by his mom's earlier. I was out of the car, fell asleep on the car. Dude, if I get still, it's over. But man, I really didn't want to work out, but he talked me into it. We got it going, man. We did pretty well. I'd say he crushed it. I was a witness, so he did great. But yeah, man, if you're on the road, just getting a little something in is going to pay dividends for sure. And you compound those victories. That's what you like to talk about.
I love it. I love compounding the victories.
Yeah, just keeping it rolling.
Yeah.
And then the last time is you talk about your positive mindset you've had this year. And let me just put this out there. His natural mindset is not positive. That's not who he is. But man, he's made a huge effort to really get into it this year.
Yeah, I think you got to make a cognizant mindset. I was like, it wasn't that I wanted to be negative. Yeah. It's just that, and I'm always been a glass half full type of guy, but I would always seek out deficiencies in whatever the problem was or whatever the individual was. But instead of looking at it that way, I said, how can I help? Or this person does it this way. That's interesting to me. Or, hey man, let me just send a text to say, dude, I appreciate you. Or gal, you're doing a hell of a job. Or whatever. Those little things about just stop being, we live in a negative world.
Sure. That's why I started this podcast.
We live in a negative world where everybody gets picked apart. Oh, your podcast or your Instagram post or your Facebook is this and that. That's stupid. Like, okay, what's positive?
Yeah.
Hey, they're getting out there and doing something. That something may not be changing the world, but that's something, whether it's helping somebody or that's helping themselves, that positive mindset, and especially investing in the reinsurance of, telling somebody that they're doing a good job goes a long way with it. It may not mean a hill of beans to you.
Yeah.
But when Joe says, dang gum, good job, Tilley, man, I'm like, my chest is bowed out. I'm like, man,
if it matters,
okay, man, that
I was impressed. Good. If it matters, I was impressed. And man, people talk. I've had people reach out on social media, make fun of me or talk trash about me having relentless positivity. But man, let me ask you this: if you had to choose, which one would you rather be, man?
Relentlessly negative or relentlessly positive?
See how you feel. And it isn't about like pretending that everything's okay. My house is on fire. Let me roast these marshmallows. This is awesome. Man, it's picking out, well, what is good? But there's something out there, because I've got caught in the trap where I've looked at everything negative. And man, it got me on the brink of suicide.
It's horrible.
No joke, man. That's where I got to, because that's all I focused on. But man, if you're willing to reach out and look out and like, what is good? Maybe there's nothing right now. So you go create that. Like we talked about, you reach out and tell someone else, hey man, here's something awesome I see about you. Because most people, they do not have someone in their life to tell them that.
I'm going to use our brother Mo for a second. Yeah. And, I'd always like to tease. Tease means to make fun of somebody. That's not cool. Sometimes it's funny, but to keep doing it and to keep picking at the scab, you're just showing you're projecting your own negativity. I'm like, man, that's not me, dude. I want to I want to try to better myself and better others. Really, I want to better others and myself.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not selfish to think that way.
No, I mean, I do kind of look at it selfishly that, hey, man, when I am feeling better and reaching out and helping other people up, lifting them up, I feel better myself.
Yeah,
So
man.
if I look at it from
It's
the selfish
awesome.
stuff.
And by the way, like, that's a great point. Like, what's the worst thing you can have? You lifted somebody up that day
Man, that's a horrible.
this much.
Yeah.
Guess what? You lifted somebody up this month. What else can you know?
What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for the person that's always tearing someone down, always has something negative to say? Who would you rather be with? If you're a business owner right now, if someone has a choice between doing business with someone who's always lifting them up or someone who's really, really negative all the time, who are they going to do? If all things equal, who do they choose? It just gives you a competitive edge in whatever you're doing. People want to be around you. They want to be lifted up by you. They want to be lifted up by themselves when they were in their own little language. Like when they talk to themselves, you can affect someone's life that way. That's why I wake up every morning and just try to shed a little, whether it's a little Facebook post or just calling somebody. A text can really, really help. You talked about that, just you and me texting back. I have clients I have accountability coaching, and it's not something, crazy that I'm doing. It's just, hey, here's what we're doing. Great job on this. Here's what we can work on. Man, there's so much negativity. You touched on it earlier. If you can shed a little bit of brightness, a little bit of sunshine in someone's life, man.
And guess what? That takes time, and you have to be deliberate about that action. You have to say, guess what? I'm going to tell somebody I love them today. And I'll get a little wishy-washy, but it's true. I'm an emotional person myself. And, it doesn't make me less of a man to tell somebody, hey, I appreciate you. You're doing a great job. Keep doing a great thing for you and your family. That's huge, man.
Oh yeah. And not enough people do that, especially as guys where, we don't think you got to be a tough guy and you can't tell someone you love them or you can't, like, you're doing a good job. Like a lot of us, oh man, they should know that. They know that. They know how I feel.
Let me tell you something. I've been around the toughest individuals this nation's ever produced, and it doesn't bother me any.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Hey, let me tell you, from someone who's learned a little something about this. Don't make it till it's too late, man.
That's right.
Don't let it be too late. If you got loved ones right now, like I was lucky enough, right before my brother passed, I said, I love you, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Huge.
I didn't know tomorrow was not going to come for him.
Guess what it cost you?
Zero,
nothing.
Man. Just, hey, few, 1, 2, 3. I love you. That's it, man.
That's
it. So if you got loved ones right now, that's your homework right now. Reach out to them. Tell them you love them. Tell them what you appreciate about them. Hey, don't wait till it's too late, man. Don't have regret in your life. Hey, WD.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
I love you.
It's been great, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for reaching those benchmarks.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, sharing a little wisdom with the folks. Hey, it's been some hard-earned lessons this year. I hope you got something out of this. Go back. I'm going to put some show notes, kind of break these down a little bit. So, man, there's 10 lessons that they can help anybody. I know the new year's coming up. I know you got some goals you want to reach this year. Maybe pick one or two. Maybe one or two of these lessons can be something that can be huge for you this year. So 2024 would be bigger and better, man.
Absolutely.
These are kind of a blueprint that work for him. Maybe they don't work for you, but I know there's something on this list. It'll help you reach some goals in there. Pick out one that you're going to kind of focus on for January. And then, hey, there's 10 lessons on here. Maybe do one each month. And then by month 11 and 12, you're rolling, baby.
I'm going to keep the Mo.
Keep a Mo going. Hey, keep the mighty Mo. We've always been keeping the mighty Mo.
That's it.
He was also up there in CB4 back in the day. So, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I know I disappeared about 30 minutes ago in this interview if you're watching the video. But, hey, man, these are some great lessons. I appreciate my boy WD being here live. Man, he flew in, made the effort to come in.
My pleasure.
Hey, please share this episode with somebody. There's some lessons there that could help anybody. I don't care what kind of goal they're trying to reach this year, maybe business or fitness or whatever it is. These goals, they're applicable across the board on here. So, man, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that wisdom. Hey, a lot of people, they keep that stuff inside. They like, hey, well, this worked for me, knowing this can help somebody. So I appreciate you coming on here and be willing to be kind of transparent. And here's my struggles and here's my victories, and I'm going to help you get to where you want. Thank you, man.
Yeah. God bless.
God bless. Hey, thanks for tuning in this week. Appreciate you guys. Please share this episode. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully you'll see me next week actually on the video. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Wow, what a great episode. You just share that with somebody. I'm going to share with you some awesome sponsors.
McWilliams Marketing. They can help your business grow. Regardless of the size of the project, you're going to get a solution that is specifically created for you and your business. No cookie cutter, one size fits approach here. So Amy and her band of fearless marketers can help you with all that stuff that you think you can do, but you're not really that good at it. You don't have time for it. They can do that. They're the experts. It's what they do. Web design, online conversion optimization, SEO, graphic design, marketing, page management, all that stuff. Go let them do that. Don't handle that yourself. Go check them out at McWilliamsMarketing.com. See what all they can do. They're amazing people. Teak Patnick with Patnick Realty. He really does it all in the real estate world. General real estate sales, acquisitions, property management, investments, all that good stuff. You're not just a transaction with Teak. He really wants to build a relationship for life with you. He has built his whole business on prayer, hard work ethic, honesty, and results. You can trust Patnick Realty with all your real estate needs. Hey, I trust my brother from another mother, Teak, and you should too. Give him a call, 256-694-0117, or email him at teak@patnickco.com.
Over the past 4 years, Valley Leadership Academy has established a reputation for being the ideal alternative to traditional schools by providing an excellent education along with real-life leadership and service opportunities. Now is your chance to come alongside them and help them grow to the next level. Please visit valleyleadershipacademy.org to find out about personal and corporate sponsorships that will help this remarkable school grow in an even brighter spot in Huntsville. Together, we can make a difference. Hey, these are awesome businesses. Go support them. They're out supporting positivity, and they will do you right. Have an awesome day.